Welcome to the ULT 2x2, a relatively small, simple and strong base. This single TC 2x2 focuses on ease of expansion for snowballers or small groups. However, external TCs can be added to prevent griefing. A spacious second floor comes with many deployables alongside a grenade chute to counter door raids. Mini core peaks on each side offer retake angles connected to the flank bedrooms and shooting floor. These peaks come with one-ways into the main bedroom area as well as shooting floor retakes, also including angles to cover each of the 4 hidden roof bunkers. In total, there are 5 bunkers on this base and 4 of them are added at a later stage. Besides this, a unique shooting floor comes with some great angles back into the opposing sides of the compound. The roof ramp bunker is also used for peaks, including a one-way retake to the roof. This roof access point is further covered by one of the 4 roof turrets which cover the roof. There is enough space here for simple peaks, a mini copter, SAM sites and windmills. More turrets cover the compound alongside some retake peaks from outside spawns. Pair this with some farm areas, this 2x2 might be the base for you. Thank you so much for the amazing support recently. If you do like the content you see at any point, please consider dropping a like down below or joining the Discord community down in the description. We start off the tour showing this disconnectable TC. There are 4 external TCs that can be added at a later stage to this base. These are used only to cover the bunkers and prevent griefing. These are incredibly cheap to add, so I do recommend adding these. Here is the very minimal upkeep of each of the 4 externals. We raise it even higher just to cover TC placement on the roof. We enter the base through one of the 4 airlocks around the compound. Here we have a ramp retake peak that we can use shooting through the chain link as well as the embrasure ahead of us. This is a great area to come into to retake your compound in case you spawn outside. Here is also where we open our roof bunkers by placing a twig roof here. This area is covered by 4 turrets in total, 1 on each side. Underneath this ramp there is space for some deployable space such as a mixing table. The compound is separated using 1 layer of chain link. This helps us secure the compound. There are 4 single door entrances all around the base. On this particular side we have a farm area. These multiple entrances keep raiders guessing in case of a door raid. On 2 opposing sides you find space for a respawn point which is connected to our peaks into the core, as well as mobility chutes to the shooting floor. I will show them later in the tour. On this side we enter the real entrance. Once again there is space for another farm area if you would like, as well as drop boxes below the jump up. This glass window can be taken off for a grenade chute, I will show that shortly. There is space for some deployables such as some electric furnaces above the airlocked entrance. Here we find one of the retake peaks that shoot back into the 2nd floor, as well as our secondary loot room, some space for some lockers and medium battery. By taking off these 2 glass windows we can chuck grenades down into the entrance. This is a great way to prevent door raids early on into the wipe or even at a later stage. The starter core is bunkered using a simple roof bunker. This can be opened by hatcheting out the wood and then replacing it once again like so. While you're online you can place a ladder hatch here or simple twig depending on what group size you are. Adding a ladder hatch will increase the raid cost, but it might be a bit awkward to live out of. The starter core is very simple and spacious. You can add more storage here, but I like it being open if I'm in a larger group. And there was the upkeep of the TC. Jumping up to the 2nd floor we have space for a research table. Opening this double door airlocks the entrance to the shooting floor. We also have some storage space above here. This is one of the main respawn points and this repair bench acts as a one-way of the retakes. Once again we have an airlock onto this side of this shooting floor. The shooting floor is separated into 2 different parts that can be accessed from the middle area as well as the flank bedrooms. Here you will find some unique peaks down into the compound below. However, by closing this door we gain some extra angles into the other side of the compound. This is probably a great way to surprise raiders. Here we have some simple ramp peaks using these embrasures, as well as one-ways to the roof. As you can see, if a raid is above, they can barely get any angles to shoot back at you. We can actually use a single door to shoot back into the core or watch for door raids from the shooting floor. And once again we have another peek on the other side. As you can see, this flank mobility chute is connected to our respawn bedrooms below. There is space here for a medium battery, as well as a locker. You can also watch the roof bunkers here as well. Once again, this is symmetrical on both sides. You will find one flank bedroom on each side of the base, which is connected to the retake peaks. On this side of the base you'll find a one-way retake using this repair bench, which can also watch for door raids. We have hidden bunkers, one on each of the 4 sides. These can be opened by placing twig below inside the compound, which destroys the roof above. This is a great way to hide loot and split it around the base. However, for this to be effective, I do recommend adding some external TCs just to cover the privilege. Coming up onto the roof, our entrance is watched by the turrets above, as well as some simple roof peaks. There is enough space on the roof for a minicopter, SAM sites and windmills. Starting off the build, you want to claim your build spot by placing this square here. Then place the TC in the left hand side. You can then quickly expand into a 2x1. Then once again add another square. Now we will add our early game bunker. This foundation should be upgraded to wood, as twig can be splashed from the outside. It is vital that you add a half wall on this side, as this is where we will put a window frame on top for our retake peaks. At this stage you can simply place a floor here and then add a doorway. Do not seal in the top of this doorway, as this is our entrance to the 3rd floor. At this stage you can just simply place twig or even a furnace to jump up. To enter your base, you can add this simple jump up by adding this honeycomb here. This is all permanent, so you can upgrade it. Once you have done this, you can go ahead and honeycomb all of the base. For the sake of the build video, I will be upgrading to the final level at this stage. On the side of the bunker, you can wall it in on the left hand side as well. This is a good way of hiding that you have a bunker. Only on the side of the bunker can you add this wall here. The other sides will need a gap in the honeycomb for your mobility chutes. This is what it should look like. Now you can go ahead and upgrade all of the core to HQM when you have the resources. Now we will do our second floor. You can add a secondary loot room here. Once again on this side, it is vital that you add a half wall and then a window on top. This is our retake peak. At this stage you can also add the window frame on the other side too. I recommend adding a frame at this stage to increase the raid cost through the window. You can either add window frames to them or you can add embrasures, it's up to you. Now we will do our entrance with the window frames for our grenade chute. Here you want to add 2 frames, but of course add a shelf before your final frame. In the next part you do not want to add a full wall here. This should be 2 half walls on top of each other, otherwise the bunker will not open. It is vital that you do this. I will correct it later in the build. You can go ahead and add an entrance to create an airlock, but make sure you add a half wall and then a window frame on top. This is once again to open the bunker. At this stage you can add windows or you can add embrasures for a mini shooting floor. Go ahead and complete your jump up like so. At this stage I recommend adding your flank bedrooms and farm areas as bait for door raids. This is quite beneficial early on to keep raiders guessing. This is where we'll do our flank bedrooms, 1 on each side. Once again make sure to do the half wall and then the window frame on top. But add a frame into this triangle area here as this is our roof access. You can then go ahead and add honeycomb here. Add a frame on the right hand side and then floors on top. Then make sure to add a half height shelf and then a single door on top. As previously mentioned, this stage here should be 2 half walls to make sure the bunker works. Upgrade both of these to metal as well. You can then add a floor and a double door to seal in this flank bedroom area. Then you'll want to repeat this on the other side. If you had glass at this stage, you can add an embrasure at this point for a retake area. As you can see here, I will replace this wall with 2 half walls. If you have got a full wall at this stage, you can just soft side it if you've made that error. On the side opposite our entrance, we will just simply honeycomb this in. This is what the base should look like. Of course, you want to add double doors everywhere. Now we will do our shooting floor. You can do 1 stage of the shooting floor at a time. At this point we're just going to do the simple shooting floor with single door peaks and then follow up the bunkers to seal it all in. Make sure you add single doors on either side to make sure you have 2 entrances into each part of the shooting floor. Go around and add these single floors like you would normally on a basic 2x2. Then add frames all around the right and left hand side of each of the sides. Add a single door on the right hand side, and then you can place a door inside it and open it for an airlock. This is what the base should look like. Now we will complete our bunkers. I recommend upgrading this foundation and all of this front side to metal. Add a full wall on top and then a window frame on top of that. I recommend upgrading this floor to armour, but you can leave it metal to make it less suspicious. Please note that symmetry is on, so you must repeat this on the other 4 sides. Before placing this ramp and upgrading it, you can leave it twig and see if the bunker works. You should place frames on either side and upgrade these to metal to support the bunker. On the bottom side here, you can add a floor and then a frame on top like so. This is how you open the bunker. Once again, you want to check this with twig to make sure it works. If the roof above demolishes, you've done it correctly, and you can go ahead and upgrade the roof ramp for the shooting floor. I accidentally deleted the ramp at the bottom, and you should leave that stone. Now you can add your roof access. Make sure you place a ramp behind this double door frame to prevent players from jumping in. You can now add this window frame here for your one-way retake. Note that on 2 of the sides where you don't have your mobility chutes, there should not be a half wall here. Of course, in reality you'd have to place the half wall to then place the window frame, but you must demolish the half wall below. This will allow access for all parts of the shooting floor. You should add siren lights to your single doors to prevent players from dropping into the shooting floor. We will add honeycomb to the bottom layer and then we'll complete our shooting floor. Add triangle honeycomb to the right hand side and then a roof ramp here, including a single door. Also add chain link to these door frames here. Do not add 2 chain link fences, as this will prevent you causing damage into the other side of the compound when using the shooting floor. Only add 1. After adding the ramp backs, if you did accidentally demolish them, you want to build out by these foundations here. Place this final triangle foundation and upgrade it. Then build back by a square, 1 triangle, and then place your final triangle like so. This is what it should look like. You can in fact build off the ramp part on the left. There are multiple ways of placing these foundations. Go ahead and build up frames and upgrade these to metal, including the floor as well, and then place 2 triangle roof ramps here. You can also complete the roof for this stage. We will now do our turret pods on the roof. This is what it should look like. Now you want to do the gatehouses like so. Place frames on either side of the ramp and then extend by one triangle. Note you will not be able to place this triangle foundation if the ramp behind you is vanilla stone skin. To fix this, upgrade it to a DLC skin, or you can upgrade it to metal. Then complete your airlock. Above you can add half walls for your turret pod, and then frames either side for some chain link. Then add barricades above this airlock. The wall placement is very simple, follow my steps here and you'll get it perfect. Tuck it to the left hand side just in front of the garage doors. Place the walls either side of the airlock first and then you can place your final one here. To place the external TCs, make sure that you place a square here to get the right distance away from the wall in case you need to replace it after a raid. You can then upgrade this square foundation to metal. As you can see here, if I remove this wall you will be able to replace it. Then build out by 3 squares and then final 3 triangles. You can then demolish the squares and then this is the foundation layout you should be left with. Then complete your disconnectable TC like so, making sure to add half walls to make sure the disconnectable works. You can add a ramp here to prevent soft sliding. After connecting with frames and upgrading to metal, you can then extend the privilege up to cover the roof. That is pretty much the base complete. Now I will run through some recommended deployables. After placing your SAM sites, that is the base complete. Thank you very much for watching.